to share something with you guys that I discussed with somebody else recently. Thought it was worthy of sharing with you guys. I was giving him some advice on a new opportunity that he was taking on outside of his field, outside of what he specializes in, something new that he's having to learn. And he doesn't really have a lot of respect or skill developed in this area yet. He's more known in a different industry, in a different type of work. So what I told him is, don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. People don't really care as much about what you do as much as they care about why you do it. It's not as much about what you do, it's more about why you do it. People will forgive your mistakes in the beginning when you're learning if you can really communicate well why you're doing it. It's all about the why. Why do you get up and do every day what you do every day? So I helped him understand that. Now he knows why he's doing it, and he's going to make that more his focus. He's been focusing too much on what he's doing and the fact that he's not doing it well. And that's temporary. He'll get better at it here real quick. But anyways, moving on to the topic. Stay on topic. If you asked me what I think the most important thing you could sell somebody is life insurance. I recently made a change too. I've been working in sales my whole life, mechanic and / sales. And if I could only sell you one thing, if you said, Danny, I'm gonna give you an opportunity, go ahead and sell me, but I'm gonna only let you sell me on one thing, one time, for the rest of my life. I'm never gonna let you sell me on anything else. I could only sell you that one thing, one time. It would be life insurance. If you already had life insurance, say you have life insurance at your job, I would say you need to look at getting some personal life insurance. Because a lot of people I've known, I mean, I'm not going to get into all the different stories and different examples, but a lot of people I've known have had that job insurance and they feel safe and they feel secure with it until something happens and they no longer have that job anymore. And now they don't feel so secure anymore because I buy insurance when the job goes bye-bye, right? So, it's real important to have your own life insurance while you're young, before you get sick, while you still qualify. I used to sell a water ionizer, and it was the best in the industry. There's no better one. Look them up. Company's called Enagic. They sell water called Kangyung water. It's a high-ticket item, very high-ticket item. People get sticker shocked all the time with the price. $5,000 machine, for water machine. Hook it up to your kitchen counter. It converts all the water coming out of your faucet into alkaline water. Different levels of pH. You can set the machine and whatnot. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. People would rather go buy plastic bottled waters. Get them a special of them at Costco. They don't really understand the value and the importance of water. And once the value exceeds the price no longer matters. But if you're not good at helping the value exceed the price on a high-ticket item, you ain't selling that high-ticket item. I used to also sell Kirby vacuum door to door. That's like a $3,300 vacuum cleaner. You can go to Target, Walmart, and get one for $100, right? But I was going door to door selling a $3,000 $300 vacuum system. And I learned about selling these high-ticket items, how to add value, how to deal with people, how to deal with rejection, mainly a lot of slammed doors in your face when you're selling a high-ticket item. But I got comfortable with rejection, got good at raising the value to where the cost no longer mattered. And I was selling these items, and it felt good because I would sell you a Kirby vacuum, and I would know that you're not sleeping with bed bugs in your mattress ever again. I would know that you're really getting a deep cleaning and having better health, breathing, not having all that stuff in your curtains, on your couches, in your bed mattress, or in your carpets. I would walk away feeling like I did a good thing for them. Sold them a Kangen water machine. I knew they weren't going to be going around buying plastic bottled waters, polluting the earth more than it's already been polluted with these plastic bottled waters. I don't even call it water bottle, I call it plastic water because of the chemicals in the plastic end up in your water. But anyways, I'd feel good. I knew I was doing a good thing selling these people this bottled water. I knew it was a good thing. And you walk away like, man, that whole family's going to drink better water now thanks to me, and they're going to have better health. And, it was a good feeling. You knew you were selling them something of value. As a salesman, I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of getting a high commission on a sale. I think a laborer is worthy of his hire. And the art of being a good communicator and knowing how to communicate the value of a product, how to know how to handle rebuttals, deal with rejection, that's a very valuable skill that should be rewarded with a high commission. If you can handle selling a high ticket commission item, you have these skills. If you can do that successfully, not just once, get lucky, but over and over again, because you actually understand the process and how to do it correctly, then that's a skill, and that skill should be rewarded. And I really would not feel bad about these commission checks I was getting, because I understood that even though my commission that I was being paid was high, the value of what I was giving was much higher. My commission would be long gone and spent, and they would continue getting value way beyond what I was compensated in my commission for years and years to come out of what I sold them. And I've always looked at sales that way. If what I'm offering you doesn't exceed the value of what I'm being paid, I don't really feel good selling it to you. It's not an ethical thing for me anymore. I'm a very ethical person, and I believe in karma, doing right by others. I'm not going to go around selling something that I know has less value to the consumer than what me, the salesman, is being rewarded for selling it to them. To each his own. A lot of people don't mind doing that. They'll sell you a lemon car, they'll sell you all kind of stuff, but I like to sell something of higher value than what I'm being compensated for. So at the time, I was really passionate about this water. At the time I sold Kirby's, I was really passionate about those vacuum cleaners. I really felt I was doing them a big service by selling it to them, and I was rewarded well for it. But I moved on from those opportunities into a different opportunity. I'm not going to get into the details why, but I'm recently jumping on the new opportunity of selling life insurance, and the reason why was I had been praying to God, asking God, hey, show me what to do next. I know I know I need to be finding something else of value that I can offer to people, right? And long story short, I was praying for God to give me direction. And I had two friends that died. I had a friend named Mario. He was a 18-year-old kid, just graduated from Lake Brantley High School here where I live, and was friends with him and his mother too, obviously. They were originally from my country. The kid was very entrepreneurial. Me and him went to conventions, like personal development conventions and stuff like that. His mom would let me pick him up, take him with me. I really enjoyed his company. He had such a good head on his shoulders. He was such a beautiful soul, so talented, so full of potential. I mean, the fact that his life got cut so short it just destroyed me. I didn't understand why. I still remember the last conversation we had like it was yesterday. And he went into the hospital with complaining of a headache one night. And to not make the video too long and get into the details, he died. He didn't make it. And who would think, to get life insurance on their 18-year-old kid? Who thinks that? I got a 17-year-old myself, and it's like, if I wouldn't have been through that experience with my friend Mario, I wouldn't have had the thought process to think, let me make sure I got a policy on my son in case something were to happen to him. And I remember his mom being a very close friend, and I remember seeing her suffer financially. Like, she legit was suffering financially, not just with the emotional suffering of losing her son. She also had a daughter. I think she was like 8 at the time, and she still was responsible for the little girl. And she just lost her little boy, only 18, man, fresh out of high school. From what I remember, she had already put her deposit on his apartment to go to college out in Gainesville, be a Florida Gator. I mean, he had his whole life ahead of him, and boom, out of nowhere, gone, just like that. And a basic cremation these days can run you $5,000 easy. And it's just, she just wasn't financially prepared to have to bury her 18-year-old son. And it was really painful. It made me angry to see her struggling financially when she should have just been able to properly mourn without having to worry about the finance part of it. And she should have just been able to take off all the time she needed. 2 weeks later, she was forced to go back to work. She was a daycare school teacher, and she had to go back and take care of other people's bratty, sick kids to be able to pay for the rent and keep the roof over her and her daughter's head. And she wasn't ready to do that. She was still grieving the loss of her son. She was destroyed. And they gave her 2 weeks off because her son passed. So, yeah, if my son passed, I think I'd want a little more than 2 weeks off. God forbid that ever happened. But if it did, I would not be ready to go back to work in 2 weeks. And that's just sad, because I think it's a conversation that even life insurance agents aren't having enough with people. And it's an important conversation to have with people. Life insurance is very important. So, moving on to another example. Not long later, I lose one of my best friends, probably the best friend I've ever had in my life, Chris. And he was only 30. And he got hit head on driving home from work, and head-on collision by a drunk driver. Died instantly. Only 30 years old. Whole life ahead. Another angel walking on earth. It had such a great impact in my life. Many, many, many memories that will live with me forever. And I was at his funeral. I actually carried his casket and lowered it in the ground with his family, friends, and parents. And it was very emotional. And it's just like, who thinks, oh, I'm 30, I better hurry up and get life insurance? Nobody really thinks about this. And it's just really, really hard thing to think about. Nobody really wants to think about that at that age, because you're in a mindset of, I got my whole life ahead of me. People view life insurance as something that's like only for older people, and that's really not the case. And it's so sad, because even a lot of older people don't have it, and they end up in trouble. But even younger people, it's something like detrimentally important to them, for them to have. Like they clearly should have something in place for everyone, regardless of what their age is. So when I saw what happened to these friends of mine, it kind of like turned the light bulb on, and I was like, okay, this is no joke. This is something that I need to really get serious about having for myself and for my son. So I got I'm insured bumper to bumper, y'all. Like, if I die, my son hits the lottery. He never has to work again, financially speaking. And I know he would rather have me here than the money, but I think it's important it's as parents to have that responsibility to make sure that they don't have to think or worry about those things if something happens to us. And God forbid something happened to him, but if something happened to him, I wouldn't have to financially worry. I would be able to properly mourn whatever happened to him and focus on just mourning and taking whatever time I need without worrying about anything financial. So I did it for myself, first of all, but then I thought to myself, man, like, there's so many other people that I love and care about that don't have this in place. They didn't experience what I had to experience with my friends. They don't have the awareness on this that I do. And I kind of took up the gauntlet, like made it my duty to say, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to help educate others on. To me, there's nothing more important than sparing people of the pain you go through when you lose somebody and you're not financially prepared. So I wanted to become a financial broker and be able to be an independent broker and be able to afford people different financial products, mortgage protector, final expense, retirement planning, whole life policies. You got your mutual funds, your Roths, you got all kind of different financial products that you could help educate people on. A lot of people are just really relying on some insurance in their job and a 401k plan they're putting money into, and some basic health care coverage. And that's really, really not what people should rely on. There's a lot of people that need to be educated and have this shared with them. And I saw what people near and dear to me went through, and I just said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that, I can't go around, I'm not Jesus, y'all. I can't go around keeping people from dying. It's part of the cycle of life. But I can make it my mission in life to make sure that when somebody does die, their loved ones are taken care of. Their loved ones are protected. And that person that dies can leave a legacy. Think about it. When you die, you don't want people that care about you to have to dig in their pocket and start a GoFundMe about you. You don't want people to, oh man, so-and-so died, we need to start a GoFundMe just to see if we can come up with enough to get them cremated, y'all. You don't want to be that guy. You want to leave a legacy. You want to. I mean, that says a lot about how you lived. If you can't even finance your own death, like, what kind of life did you live? Really, what did you really do? So it's really important to have this conversation with people. And you'd be surprised, for like very little to nothing, people can really have some good protection. I like to start people off with final expense, a term policy. It just depends where they're at, what product I'm going to recommend. But as an independent broker, I have the opportunity to say, let's find the products that work best for you. Let's put products together that fit your needs, your goals, where you're at in life. Not just, I'm with such and such company and this is what we all have to offer and take it or leave it. And I want to be that guy. So this is honestly, I've made it my responsibility to do this. And I've been a mechanic my whole life, and I've enjoyed fixing cars, and I've worked in sales. I've sold cars, I've sold other stuff. Like I said, Kirby vacuum machines, expensive water machines. I've loved sales always. I sold low ticket items too. I used to sell clothes and shoes and all kind of stuff. I love sales. But to me, if I could only sell you one thing and one thing only, I can't drive this message home enough. There's not anything else I would rather sell you than life insurance. And if you already have some, I want to look at what you got and make sure I can't offer you something better. Better coverage for a better price, better face value, for a better, affordable price that you're more comfortable with. If I can do that, why wouldn't I want to say, hey, show me what you got? That's good. I'm glad you got something in place. Let me see what you got. Possibly I can see if I can do something a little better for you. If I can't do nothing better for you, then I can't. Good. I'm happy for you. You got something, and what you got is as good as it gets for you. I can't even offer you anything better. I'm happy. I can walk away feeling good, knowing that you're truly protected with the best that you can get. The best that you qualify for, so to say. Not to say you can't afford certain things, but whether you can afford to pay or not, it comes down to what can you qualify for, health-wise. So to me, there is absolutely, again, nothing more important that I could ever sell anyone at any age, any income bracket, any position in life than financial products that will give them peace of mind for retirement, financial products that will help leave a legacy for them when they're gone, take the burden off of their loved ones. There's nothing more important. And it's not that I didn't enjoy or see value in selling vacuum cleaners or selling fancy water machines and selling, good cars, good reliable cars, not selling lemons. I'm always enjoy selling cars. I'll take my little life insurance commission and just for fun go buy some used cars and fix them up real good to where they're actually worth buying, and sell them to people that can't afford to go finance a car and need to buy something, cash, affordable, and that is reliable. It keeps me busy still tinkering with cars, which is my passion. Like I said, I've been a mechanic my whole life, and I'm always loved doing that. That'll never stop. I'll do that until I'm too old to do it anymore. But this life insurance thing, these financial products, this being a broker, a financial broker, is more important than all those things. It's more important than what I enjoy doing. To me, it's like a responsibility I took on for myself when my friends died. I said, that's it. Never again will I see a single mother of two suffering because one of her two passed and she can't afford to even give them a proper burial. Never again will I sit back and say, man, I wish somebody would have. I'm going to be that somebody. You want to see the change in the world? Be the change you want to see in the world. Be that somebody. Stop complaining about it and do something about it. And that's what I told myself. I'm not going to complain anymore about why didn't nobody offer her a policy. She could have been sitting on some money and really taking the time she needed and not have to worry. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about that. I'm going to be that guy. It's too late to do it for her, but I'm going to be that guy for other people. I made sure she had a policy on her daughter, made sure she had a policy on herself that we could do something about, but what was done with her son is already too late. And, it's not too late for other people, and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to share this message. I'm going to educate them with love and with compassion on just how important it is. And, not everybody receives the message well. If you get a no, you get a no. Don't get hung up on it. But at least I know their blood is no longer on my hands. I'm a Christian man. I'm a godly man. So, I don't go around preaching from a corner, and I don't preach from a pew or pulpit. I'm not a preacher. But when I feel a tug in my heart to share my love for Christ with somebody, when the opportunity is right, when it's the right timing and the right opportunity, I'm not ashamed to share my faith and what God has done in my life. And it's not about me converting or convincing anybody. I'm not trying to twist anybody's arm into accepting Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. To each their own. I have Muslim friends, I have Buddhist friends, I have all kind of friends. But when it's the right time and the right opportunity, and a person is open to it, is willing to receive it, I have no shame in wanting to share that. And if they're not, I don't get hung up on the result. I just get hung up on, I'm going to share with them with love. And that's the same way I approach everything I do in sales. Life insurance, Kangen Water. I didn't really get hung up on the results. As far as, are they going to buy? Are they going to buy? I was too focused on my passion for, look what this water can do for you. Look what this vacuum cleaner can do for you. Look what this life insurance, this other financial product, this mortgage protector, whatever it is going to do for you and your family. It's sad to see, the breadwinner in a family die, and the wife can't afford to stay in the home and keep the same lifestyle she had when he was alive and they had two incomes. That's sad. Kids are used to living a certain way, and now they can't live that way no more. So when you're passionate and you really care about people, people aren't stupid. Can't fool them. You either care or you don't. That's why I love dogs so much. I'm such a dog lover. Dogs, they know immediately almost if you're friend or foe. If you're afraid of them or if you have love for them. If you like them or you don't really like them, they know right away. Dogs can read people. I don't know how they do it. They're the best at it. So I love my dog, and he can tell right away what kind of mood I'm in when I walk in. And other dogs that I've never met before, they always take a liking to me because they feel that energy, that love that I have for them. It's very rare that an aggressive dog will stay aggressive with me. Quickly they'll calm down when they feel my energy. And I've been around some friends' houses, and they have like an aggressive dog that's being protected and territorial because of strangers in their house. And then once they get around me for a little bit, they put their guard down, and all of a sudden they want to lick me and smell me and play with me. And they quickly realized what my energy was. And they know people aren't dumb. Animals can do this. We ain't dumb. People know if you're being real or fake with them. If you really, really care, people know you care. Just communicate that. Be that. Just genuinely let that radiate from the inside out, and people will connect with it. And once people know you care, people like to do business with people they trust, and people they feel the trust is based off of care, that person cares for them and is not just trying to sell them something. So life insurance is that for me. That's why I do it. This is the long version of it. Obviously, when I share it with people, I have a shorter version, but I wanted to take the time to really explain this to my subscribers. And hopefully y'all, whatever it is you're doing, doesn't have to be life insurance, whatever it is. Remember, it's not what you do, it's why you do it. Have the time to figure out why you're really doing what you're doing, why it is you want to do what you want to do. and communicate that. Break it down into a smaller message, obviously. Something that you can communicate a little quicker, but with impact, with meaning. Make it real, make it heartfelt, and share that with people instead of trying to sell them on your product. As valuable as your product might be, as good as you might be at selling it, or as bad as you might be, maybe you're new and you're still pretty bad at it, trying to get good at it. None of that is really as important as being able to properly communicate why you do it. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. Again, till the next video. God bless y'all. Bye-bye. Peace.